In this question, we're going to price a stock taking into account multiple stages of growth. So the question reads, deployment specialist pays a current annual dividend of $1 and is expected to grow at 20% for 2 years and then grow at 5% thereafter. So it grows at 2 stages. There's a rapid growing stage and a slow growing stage. If the required rate of return for the company is 8%, what is the intrinsic value of its stock? First, let's figure out the cash flows at different periods. So cash flow last period is a dividend, it's $1. End of this year, it's gonna grow at 2%, 20%. So it's gonna be 1.2. Next year, end of year 2, it's gonna grow at 20% for another year. So the dividend is gonna be D1 1.2 times 1 plus 20%. Give us 1.44. What about year 3? Now the dividend growth would have slowed to growing at 5%. So it's gonna be 1.44 D2 times 1 plus 5%, which gives me 1.512. And from there onwards, the company grows constantly at 5% interest rate. So the price of the stock at time 0 equals to the present value of the first dividend payout plus the present value of the second dividend payout plus, now hypothetically, you sell the stock at the end of year 2. You get P2. Then you discount it back to time 0. So you sum up all these 3 different components of the present values, you get the stock price today. Let's start with the present value of D1. The dividend is $1.2. We discount it back for 1 year. The required rate of return is 8%. I get $1.111. The present value of D2 is, take the cash flow, 1.44 divided by 1 plus 8%. You compound it. It's earned 2 years later, so you got to square it, compound it twice. I get 1.234. Next, present value of P3. We do not know P3 yet, so let's solve for P3. If you sell the stock at the end of year 2, what's going to be the stock price? Well, the stock at that point is just going to be a company that pays out a dividend of D3 next year, and it's growing constantly at a 5% rate. Required rate of return is 8%. So the price is going to be D3, 1.512 divided by K minus G. 8% minus G, 5%. I get 50.4. So if you buy the stocks today, collect 2 dividends, D1 and D2, and sell it afterwards, the stock price you're going to get is 50.4. What's the present value of that? It's 50.4 discounted back. So that's 1 plus 8% raised to the power 2. So 8% is the discount rate, and we got to square it because you make this money 2 years later. So we have to compound it. And the present value is 43.210. Finally, you take this equation. The present value of the stock equals to the present value of D1, D2, and P2. So that's 1.111 plus 1.234 plus 43.210. I get 45.56. So the intrinsic value of the stock today is 45.56.